All right, everybody. Welcome back to the House of Rivalry. I think this is what, episode 4, Jared?
It is episode 4.
Man, we're just rattling off so much at this point. Naturally, I'm losing track. But, you know, obviously, before we get started, let me introduce my wonderful co-host,
Jared will.
Jared. I appreciate you. And what everybody's seeing right now is we got a new face in the Discord. Obviously, we have the privilege of being able to bring on guests, our first ever guest on the House of Rivalry. Mr. Stuart. Stuart, please tell the people everything a little bit about yourself. Let them know, what you do. I know you have your own thing. I'm gonna let you explain it, but the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Jared, for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so I'm in the same business as y'all are trying to be in college football. Just live and breathe college football. It's kind of just coming off the ground, but I did start a podcast. It's called the Saturday Standard, and it is essentially what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And coming on here helps that for me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it very much.
Most definitely, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, we got in contact because it was just kind of one of those things. The algorithm worked out for us, and we were able to get you on. We talked a little bit, talked off screen and everything, and so you know, I'm gonna obviously have everything linked below in the description for his channel, all of his social medias, so we're able, everybody at the house, let's go get Stuart on. And I know we talked a little bit, right? This, depending on how it goes and everything, this could possibly be a reoccurring thing. Um, but I think the biggest thing I want to start out with is obviously something not football related. We just kind of at the house, we want to give a big thank you to John Cena in his very long and great career in the WWE. I know for myself personally, I grew up watching WWE, so there's plenty main events that I watched of John Cena and Triple H and The Rock, Shawn Michaels, like the list goes on of all the guys that he's fought. So just want to say thank you to John Cena for his great career.
Shout out Cena.
Yeah, so that was quick, simple, easy. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Just appreciate him. Um, all right, next order of business, the Heisman. Obviously, the ceremony was last night. Um, Jared, what was kind of your first initial reaction to the Heisman?
Heisman committee got it right, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
That,
the thing is like they were able to. The votes were so far off, and Diego made a whole thing about it. Stuart, what's your
I,
what's your thing on it?
I think that I thought that Diego would have. I didn't think he was going to win, but I thought he would have been a much closer second.
Hmm.
Um, Especially the past couple of days, the way he played against Tennessee was pretty pretty damn convincing.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, Fernando Mendoza has been the guy for weeks that I assumed was going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mendoza was, as Jared knows, and everybody who's seen all the clips, he was my favorite. I mean, naturally, like just the way he's been playing. I mean, he hasn't done anything outside of that Penn State game in the last 2 minutes to really go, oh yeah, this dude plays like a Heisman. But he
Right.
wins and he doesn't really turn the ball over, and naturally, that's all you want in a quarterback. And quite frankly, he was the best at doing that this season. So,
Yep.
um, Jared, we got a lot of cooks in the kitchen tonight, so we're gonna have to figure this out. But like Jared, I'm coming right back to you. Is that all you got for
yeah.
him? You think the
What you got?
committee got it right?
I mean, hard to argue. I mean, he wins. He's undefeated. They're number one. He's the best player on the best team.
Honestly, bro, I thought I really just when I was watching the Big Ten championship game, I said it out loud. I said, "Who the quarterback who wins this game is going to win Heisman." I thought it could have leaned more toward Sayan's way if they would have won that game, but
Hmm.
I kind of felt like whoever won that championship game would win the Heisman.
Yeah,
Sagan got no love from the voters at all.
and that
I
I
shocked
think
know.
he
me
came in
because
fifth.
he had better,
Me too.
but he had better stats than a lot of the guy. Than honestly, he had better touchdowns and I think passing yards than Mendoza. Um, obviously on a 12-1 team. So I, honestly, Stuart, I don't disagree with you. I think whoever won that Big Ten championship probably won the Heisman. Or potentially,
Do
what
we
could have
think if
happened?
Pavia beats do we think if Pavia beats Texas, he wins the award?
I think so,
Or if
100%.
Vanderbilt was in the playoffs?
I do too,
Um,
and that kind of goes to
it
another thing.
writes it writes itself better. I mean,
Yeah,
ESPN and those money lines and those contracts. I mean, it sounds better. It looks better on paper.
yeah. I
Heisman
think,
winner Diego Pavia against Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl
yeah,
for the
like
playoff
you know
play.
what I could have saw too if Indiana lost in the Big Ten championship. It doesn't go to Sayin, it goes to Pavia. I could have seen that too, just given how, the votes were, I think it was like a 900 vote difference, but still, right? If Mendoza loses that game, do we think there's 900 vote discrepancy, or do we think it's closer, or Pavia wins? Um, you know,
Unfortunately,
In
Jeremiah Lawrence is
in
not playing.
retrospect, I think that Fernando Mendoza probably still would have won the Heisman if he lost the Big Ten championship game. Now,
yeah, probably. I don't think you're wrong on that, but um,
Depends how he lost.
yeah,
Awful or
yeah.
you know what? It's the first time I'm ever going to do it on this channel, and it might be the last because I don't know how he's going to handle it. But Jared, do you want to run us through our
oh
next
god.
topic? Do you want to just get us into it? You got to get the people into it now, okay? Use a little bit of pizzazz, get them into it,
Y'all know my things are Jimmy's and Joe's. Y'all know that's my thing, Jimmy's and Joe's. Well, that's exactly where we're going right here.
Okay?
We're breaking down the X factor for each team, 1 through 12, one on offense and one on defense. And we're gonna let our man Stuart kick it off.
Okay.
All right.
Big Stu, let's
You
get
want me
it.
to start for the first? You want me to do the first round first, or you want me to start with from 1 to 12, or
We'll just go 1 through 12, start on offense.
okay? So Indiana, I think the X factor is going to be Fernando Mendoza. I
Yeah,
mean, I know that's a low hanging fruit, but I mean that's just what it is.
yeah,
Um, Defensively, I would have to give it to the entire defensive line. Um, I feel like if they're either, it doesn't really, Oklahoma or Alabama, whoever Indiana ends up playing, the defensive line getting to the quarterback is going to be very important, I think.
yeah.
And number two, Ohio State. On offense, I would also take Tate. I think Jeremiah Love, or not Jeremiah. Um, was it Jeremiah Smith? Right?
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith. But hey, hold on,
Yeah.
Stu. You ain't want to give me and Jared a chance on number one yet? You ain't want to give us a
Oh, my bad.
chance?
You're good.
No, we
Sorry.
we're just having fun with it, but no, I mean, hey, we were getting to a point. It's like, okay, he's just gonna rattle them off here. We were gonna let
Yeah.
you roll, but
My bad.
let's give us a chance now to kind of give a little rebuttal every now and then. But um, no, I completely agree with you, Stuart. I think on the offense side of the ball, it's obviously the Heisman winner. Like, you don't win a Heisman
It's
for no
gotta be.
reason. Like, you're the
Right.
X factor.
Yep.
Um, I think defensively, I think Jared and I think we probably have the same one. Pons, the defensive back that they have out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I mean, uh,
My reasoning for Pawns is
mhm,
each of this team has a go-to wide receiver.
yeah,
Every team in the playoffs. You're gonna need somebody to be that guy to take them away or slow them down. And I think that guy for Indiana is gonna be D'Angelo Pawns.
yeah. No, I, I,
I don't,
I
I
completely
don't
agree
hate
with you.
Stewart. I don't hate Stewart's pick on the D line because the whole D line is gonna have to step up after losing their starter.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was huge.
and I still
What you
can't
thinking,
believe.
Ohio State? Stewart?
What's that?
Let
What you
it.
thinking about Ohio State? Who you got there?
Um, Ohio State on defense. I would have to go with Caleb Downs. He played at Alabama first before he was at Ohio State, and he entered the transfer portal. I think when Nick Saban, I think when he retired, he went to Ohio State.
Yep,
Something.
it
I
was
think
right
so.
after
Uh,
Saban retired.
yeah, and that was a huge, huge loss for Alabama. But I think that he is a X factor, and anytime that guy steps on the field. So defensively, I would take Caleb Downs. and Tate on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah.
Speaking of Caleb, let's hear what our host Caleb Lowe has
Come
to
on
say
now,
for Ohio State.
the government is crazy work. But no, I
I didn't
honestly,
say government, but I can.
no, let's chill out, chill out. No, I honestly, I think through at least the first 5 teams, I think our answers are probably going to be a little bit of the same. Obviously, I think Jeremiah Smith and Tate are going to be a huge factor in this game because you can't allocate a double coverage to both receivers because then you have nobody else to guard wide receiver 3, a tight end, a running back. Like you can't double cover both of them. So you either have to one-on-one them or you have to double cover one and hope and pray to God that the other guy doesn't get beat. So naturally, those are my 2 picks on the offense side of the ball. Caleb Downs, obviously, he's just played really well over his entire course in college. So for me, like he's just going to continue to be an X factor, especially in big games.
So we don't have the same ones 1 through 5.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I went I went freshman running back Bo Jackson.
Okay.
You want to get your run game going to set everything up. You're going to want to let Julian Sayin get comfortable, and I think that all starts with freshman running back Bo Jackson.
Okay. Okay. I
I just
like it.
think if he can get going, it's going to look a lot like Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson last year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope for the sake
And,
of my sanity, that is not the case.
and for defense, I did not go Caleb Downs. I
Okay.
went future top 5 potential draft pick Avril Reese, arguably the number 2 linebacker in the nation, and
Oh,
he does it
oh,
all.
behind Mr. Atkins.
We're not going to visit that,
He's very
but
good at this. He's very good at disguising the when they go man and when he pulls back, he's so good at disguising that, man. He's
you
very
don't know
good.
if he's blitzing, dropping
I know.
back, or
Yeah.
flying. He reminds me
Yep.
so much of Michael Parsons. Sorry, Penn State
Yeah.
fans,
Okay.
and
Speaking of,
sorry,
he
Cowboy
tore his
fans.
ACL today.
That's just terrible.
That
And
Oh,
Patrick
sucks.
Mahomes did.
Yeah, they both tore their ACLs. That's bizarre, right?
Yeah, I think Avril Reese is going to be the X factor because he could potentially just tilt this whoever they play in the second round on the game on its head.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Stuart, who you got from Georgia?
Georgia. Uh, uh, Gunnar Stockton is gonna have to. Um, Whoever he plays, it doesn't matter. I don't think he's gonna have to be the Gunnar Stockton he's been over the last um, 6 games, the second half of the season. The way he played against Texas was incredible. The way he played against Alabama in the SEC championship game was unfortunately amazing. So I think Gunnar Stockton, if he just keeps playing Gunnar Stockton football, then I think Georgia's going to be all right.
yeah.
Good pick.
I agree with him. I don't have a defensive pick on this because, quite frankly, the entire Georgia defense, especially in that Alabama game, quite frankly, they're all X factors. If we're gonna really be honest here for a second, so I'm gonna.
They're all first round draft picks too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, and so
Almost every single one of them.
so it's hard to really come down and say, oh, this guy. No, it's literally the entire defensive side of the ball. I agree with you, Stuart. I think Gunnar Stockton has to play how he has been playing over the past, I would just say, couple of weeks. Because if he doesn't,
Yeah.
Georgia might be screwed. It doesn't matter how good your defense is,
Yep.
and this is coming from an Oklahoma fan. Okay, no matter how good your defense is, if your offense can't put up any points, especially in the playoffs when big games matter, it's going to be a very, very scary sight. And I say that in
Yep.
the sense of it might be a barn burner of freaking 6-3 is the final score, but you might get outed because you can't score the ball. So, um, Jared, you're up next, baby. Let us know what's going on.
I can second that sentiment on having a great defense and a terrible offense after this season. But give me Zachariah Branch on the offensive side. You know, Mike Bobo loves to get his playmakers out in space, whether it be a screen or jet sweep or something short over the middle. And Zachariah Branch is the kind of receiver he can make you miss. The next thing you know, he's 80 yards downfield.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I just think Gunnar Stockton rely on him heavy. to start a game off, getting rhythm is just going to set Georgia's tone for however the game's going to go. And then on defense, we got the former 5-star recruit, KJ Bolden. He's just the best player on that defense, and it's not close. And he's only a sophomore, and they still have possibly 2 more years with him. Probably will get only that 1 year. KJ Bolden's just a playmaker.
Yeah.
Whether it be in the run game or the pass game, or if you're catching a ball across the middle and he's coming down to just take your head off. KJ Bolden does it all for Kirby Smart in that defense, and that's why he's my X factor.
Okay. Obviously, we're coming down here, back to the Texas South. I don't know if you've ever been out to West Texas, Stuart or Jared for that matter. There's about 3 things out there that you can be for sure: football, drinking, and absolute nothingness for miles. And so,
well, you forgot oil.
Everybody knows that. Come on.
You got to mention oil when it comes to the Raiders.
Hey, I've been watching Landman.
Right?
I've been watching Landman, and I love it. Okay, it's a great show.
Dude, I gotta watch the new episode after we film this.
Dude, I just watched it today. Okay, we're getting too far off track here. Stuart, Texas Tech. Who's your 1 and 2 on there?
Offensively, Morton, he needs to not get injured, because Texas Tech, when they play without him, we saw what happened in the regular season. He needs to not take too many risks down the field. Just play safe, good football if you can. If he's put in a position where it's to win, I get it, making those adjustments and taking those risks, but he has to stay healthy. That would be the X factor for me on offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm right there with you, and I think obviously I can't speak for you, Stuart, but I know for me, and I know probably for Jared because we're almost on the same wavelength. Hopefully by now, it's got to be Jacob Rodriguez for defense. I mean, it just has to be. I mean, he might be. Hey, he might be an offensive X factor too, because he's out here scoring rushing touchdowns in multiple games all of a sudden. So he might be a both side of the ball.
He was like
X factor.
He was in the top 10. I can't remember which number, but he was in the top 10 for the Heisman votes too.
Yeah,
If you go back and look, yeah, that's crazy.
He was my second runner up for the Heisman for sure.
Jared, so of course I got Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah,
you gotta have Jacob Rodriguez if you're talking about the Texas Tech Red Raiders. But on offense, I got the 1-2 punch of Cameron Dickey and Ja'Cory Williams.
Okay.
I feel like again, kind of the same sentiment for Ohio State. It goes same for Texas Tech. If you want to settle Bear and Morton in and let them be comfortable early in, no matter who they're playing, you got to get that run game going, and it's going to start with the 2-headed monster of Dickey and Williams.
I think another dude to really watch out for in that game is their receiver. He goes by Cowboy Clay. Believe he is number 3, if I'm not mistaken.
I know who you're talking about, and I have no clue what his name is.
I think he's number 3. I think his nickname is Cowboy Clay. That's what he goes by. He had a
Clay Welkin?
It's something like that. All I know him by Cowboy Clay. That's all I know him by. And I'll be danged. God forbid a white boy get a little bit of motion. That's all I gotta say.
I think Caleb Douglas is the better receiver on that team, but I see where you're going.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of superstars on that team, but I think overall for them to actually win, I think Morton has to be the X factor in that game.
Moving on to
you mentioned the 2-headed monster. It's funny you said that. I was thinking about it today. They kind of remind me of a younger, less experienced, like David Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs. Like the way that they manifest that run in the backfield was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I liked it. Moving on to Eugene, Oregon, in the Pacific Northwest. What do you got for us, Stuart?
Dante Moore. He has to control the pace of the game. Time of possession is going to be very important for Oregon. As fast as they move, when it comes to tempo, and if their game is close in the second half, Dante Moore has to be owning the line of scrimmage. He has to be owning the clock. I think Dante Moore would be the X factor in that, whoever they play.
Yeah. This is kind of another one for me that I really don't have a defensive player on, but it's different. It's because, quite frankly, I don't really know. There's nobody really on the defensive side of the ball, for me personally, that jumps off the page for me. So we were sitting here before trying to talk about it, and I'm like, I just can't. I can't seem to come up with a name. I can't seem to be like, oh, what number is he? Like, there's nothing like that. But there's one guy that I think will give James Madison. James Madison could double everybody up on the field. They could triple cover everybody on the field. But there is nobody on the field that can work a matchup that they have in Kenyon Sadiq. That dude is a freak of nature, and it doesn't matter who you put on him. You could put a 7 foot 300 pounder that runs a 4.40 on him, and I still think he is going to give him the work there at tight end. He's my pick. I think X factor wise, I think this is going to be a warm up game for him, and I think he's going to be the X factor again against Texas Tech in the following week.
So I went with Kenyon Sadiq. I can't agree more. He's just an absolute mismatch. If you want to line him up out wide, he can hold his own in the slot, or if you want to play him as an inline tight end. But on defense, James Madison loves to run the ball, whether it be with their quarterback Alonzo Barnett or their running back Wayne Knight. But Oregon does have an X factor on defense, and it's going to be Bear Alexander. If he can stop the James Madison run game, because he can do it single-handedly, he's very much capable of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a long night for James Madison.
Okay, like I said, that's just me personally. You know, I've seen one one
Barnett.
Oregon game, and it was against Indiana. So that's the only game I can really sit here and speak out on. And really, in that game, obviously Oregon lost. So there's just no knowledge for me on that side of the ball.
I mean, they let Iowa score points on them, so we know what's possible to score points. You're letting Iowa put up.
Iowa almost beat them. There's like a last-minute field goal to win.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Which, by the way, everybody who's criticizing my Oregon is frauds, you almost lost to Iowa. They don't win anymore. So quit criticizing me. Sorry, I'm getting heated.
Barnett's gonna have to play the game of his entire existence to have a chance.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
He's capable of doing it.
And obviously, let's just jump. Obviously, we're already at Oregon. Let's talk about James Madison. I'm right there. Barnett, again, if he plays excellent and goes shot for shot with Oregon, he's going to give him a chance. And he's got to be the one to put the team on his shoulders and be like, all right, it's my turn. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, there's Barnett.
Yeah, again, we're same thing with Tulane. I think let's all just knock Tulane out of there already. Retzlaff has to play amazing. He just has to. It's the same thing against Ole Miss. You got to go shot for shot, and if you can't, you're gonna be a first round exit. And we can't blame them. They're a G5 team, but it's still, if you can go shot for shot with them, you have a chance. So let's just knock those two teams out of the way. The defense side of the ball, I ain't got a clue in the freaking world. So if y'all got a clue, let it rip. But I ain't got a clue. But JMU and Tulane, their quarterbacks got to go shot for shot for them to have a chance.
It don't matter about defense; they just got to score.
Yeah. Maybe
the way if Tulane knows exactly, at least Tulane this go around, they know exactly what not to do because they got spanked by Ole Miss in the regular season.
Yeah.
So maybe having that reference point of the things that they made mistakes on, maybe that can be some sort of relief and maybe motivation. I don't know. Something crazy is gonna have to give, So.
Yeah. Obviously, we just brought up the Tulane game. Let's roll right over to the other side of the ball with Ole Miss. Stuart, who's kind of your offensive and defensive factors there?
Does it have to be a player? I was going to say Pete Golding. I mean, he's coaching the game. It's going to be completely. And he runs the offensive side of the ball. I feel like with Lane being gone, him taking over this position, and Lane not being able to coach them through the playoffs. I think if he go, he's got big shoes to fill, and
Hmm.
if he can put together good offensive game plan. And I'm kind of speaking about Ole Miss in the future because I'm already foreseeing the Tulane game, but even the Tulane game, just putting a great offensive plan together for his first official head coaching position with Ole Miss. I think that's really important.
No,
Yeah, we're seeing Charlie Weiss as his first time calling plays, and I'm really interested to see the kind of offense he calls without Lane
yeah.
Kiffin's input.
Yep,
And I
agreed.
I'm right there. Like naturally, it doesn't have to be a player, right? And I think in this Ole Miss game, I do think that the first time play caller and OC and your first time head coach in a huge game like this, I mean naturally they've got to be X factors. Like yes, again they're not on the field, they're not playing, but you can't go out there and call inside zone 7 million times and expect your offense to break off every single one for 5 yards, right? So and on the defensive side
Yep.
of the ball, you still got to be able to stop Tulane for Pete Golding. So I completely agree. I do think I think Chambliss is their X factor. I I don't know why, but I was watching the Egg Bowl, um, just for whatever reason I was. And dude, I'll tell you what, Chambliss was lighting up Mississippi State. It was like it was just
He's
pitch and catch
good.
for him.
He's very good.
And so obviously
Very good.
he's my X factor. If he can continue to play this way, we might see an Ole Miss run here. It's I think the biggest question mark is how are they going to be without Lane? I think that's the biggest question mark, and I think if they come out and they blow out Tulane by 50, I think we're sitting here whole timeout, pause. Like what are we doing here? Defense side of the ball, I got Perkins. Like I said, I don't know too much on the defensive side of the ball, especially on here. Um, I think Perkins, being the edge rusher that he is, I think he's going to be a very dominant force in this game plan. Just in that Egg Bowl game, I mean, he was wreaking havoc. So I like that. Jared, what are you thinking?
Well, you mentioned running inside zone 500 times and expecting it to work. And that's exactly why I went with the running back, Kwan Lacey, Missouri transfer. He's lit it up.
Hmm.
But I also have a take, and
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
Trinidad Chambliss wins Heisman if he started from game one.
100%.
Yes. Yes.
100%. I
And
don't even think
and
it's
I don't
close.
think and I don't think they'd have a loss.
I,
I think they would have beat Georgia in the regular season.
I don't know. Athens is such a hard place to play. He
No,
It
played
it
that
is,
game
really
and
but
still lost.
it really is.
Chambliss is.
But Chambliss did play the Georgia game though, and he still lost. So I don't think it
Yeah,
affects it.
I don't know. Something about him getting, him starting right off the bat makes me think things could have been a little bit different. I just really
I
don't like
respect it.
Georgia. I
The
just
defense, defensively, we mentioned if Tulane wants to win, Jake Retzloff is going to have to play the game of his life.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen with Centauri Perkins rushing him.
Yeah.
And that's why Centauri Perkins is my X factor on defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to the next game, Texas A&M versus Miami.
yeah.
Who you got
Stuart.
for
Um,
Miami, Stuart?
I think Miami is going to win this game. I
Oh,
they're
he can't.
as
Hold
of
on.
right
Hold on
now.
now.
As
Hold
of
on. We need the clip. Say it again right quick. Just put the just clip it for us, okay? Just.
I think Miami is going to win this game
Oh, okay.
by double digits. By double digits. I got them winning 34-24.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay. Now
Texas A&M, Texas A&M right now is a 3.5 point favorite. So I see Miami getting a big win. They've been underestimated. They've been, put in the wrong number throughout the playoff, the rankings, and used this kind of bait to start this chain reaction with Notre Dame. I think they're pissed off. I think Mario Cristobal, who is, he coached under Nick Saban. I feel like they've got something else to prove, and I feel like they're going to come out swinging.
oh,
You
hey,
had me, and then you lost me. Because Mario Cristobal can't win the big game. He never has, and he never
I know
will. Miami's not winning this
it
game.
sucks.
I to go to that, I think to your credit, Stuart, I think if they are going to win this game against A&M at home in College Station, right? For A&M's at home, right? If you don't know, that 12th man gets real crazy, right? I
Yeah, they're
think
7-0. They're 7-0 at home this year.
yeah. Well, but again, right? If we were really on that stat side, right? They only played, the bottom half of the SEC. So it's like
Yep.
I don't. To your credit, yes, they are, but it's also, I mean, you're beating up on Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi
Look how they
State.
came back against South Carolina. They
Yeah,
answered when they
That
needed
was
to.
it was incredible. That was incredible. Yeah, that was really something.
yeah,
Defense stood up. Offensive playmakers answered the bell.
yeah. I think as an X factor in
So
whole, I think it's going to be a game changer. I think the atmosphere in College Station will be an X factor alone, but for Miami, I think for them to win, their receiver Tony has to keep playing exactly how he has been playing over the past couple weeks, and I think their entire front seven needs to do the exact same as well. Their entire front seven is arguably, I would say, behind probably OU, is the second best front seven in the nation. Um, and Indiana's up
I
there
like
as
it.
well. But I think it's Indiana, Miami, and Oklahoma. They have the best front sevens in the entire country. And I think those two, if they can become an X factor, I think they can go into College Station and pull off an upset. I don't even think Carson Beck is a factor in this game. I really don't. I think you put the
I
ball in
think you're
Tony's.
sleeping on. I think you're sleeping on Texas Tech's front seven. When you
I'm,
got Jacob Rodriguez, Romello Height, and Lee Hunter.
and again, I might be, but dude, like, I just my biggest thing is everybody's like Carson Beck, Carson Beck. Personally, for me, if they put the ball in Tony's hands, you're gonna win the ball game.
Who's going to put it in Tony's hands though?
I mean, dude, you could. I mean, Tony played quarterback. Their last regular
Yeah,
season game, he played quarterback for him and still won the game by multiple scores. Again, it was against an inferior opponent, but still they did that. Like, you put the ball in his hands, doesn't matter if you're handing it off, him getting the snap at quarterback, him playing receiver. You put the ball in his hands, he's gonna make a difference.
for Miami, I got Carson Beck. He's
Okay.
been in this stage before. He hasn't won, but he's been in this stage before, and he knows what it takes to get there, and maybe he knows what it takes to win now. Defense, A&M's gonna want to spread the ball out to their wide receivers, and they love giving it to their wide receivers in the slot. And that's why I think Miami slot cornerback Keontae Scott is going to need to have a big night, not only playing in the run game, but trying to keep those receivers yards to a minimum.
Okay. I like that. I think let's I'm gonna flip it to the other side. I think there's two people on the A&M side of the ball that needs to be able to play. It needs to be second half Marcel Reed in that South Carolina game. That's the Marcel Reed you need to see. And you need to get probably, arguably, the best outside linebacker. Maybe he kind of plays a little bit all for him at A&M, but how? I mean, he's got to have he's got to be the game wrecker he usually is.
Oh, and he's a freak of nature. That guy.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. Jared's face, I saw it. He's got something he wants to say. It's brewing. Uh-oh.
Wide receiver Casey Concepcion can single handedly take this game over, whether it be in the receiving game or the return game.
Okay.
And I've seen him do it in person, I've seen him do it on TV. Casey Concepcion is what you call an X factor.
Okay.
And then on
Yeah.
defense side of the
He,
ball, I got linebacker Torian York. He can rush if he wants to.
Mhm.
He can get his head down and get in the box. He can play amazing pass coverage. And he can just easily take away some of the reads for Carson Beck and force him to hold that ball on longer, allowing for Cassius Howell to get in that backfield.
I love it. I mean,
Who you got for A&M, Stuart?
uh, on offense, probably I like the Concepcion. I mean, especially his special teams in his returns. He's been dangerous and hard to bring down. I think that um, where they're at on the field is the field position could play a huge part in this game because if he keeps doing what he's been doing, you know, with that ball, they could have great field position like a lot, and that could play a huge factor. So I'll probably take that as well, especially on for offense. And
Okay.
And what's
Uh,
that defensive pick looking like?
Powell, I'd probably take.
okay.
It was
Yeah.
between Torrey York and Howell. I
Yeah.
mean, you really can't go wrong. They're
No, I
both
mean,
future NFL players.
yeah, they're both. I personally think Hal's a little bit better than York, but I think, I think you focus too much on one, you're gonna get a mixture of the other. So, I mean, you really can't do both, right? You got to be able to allocate enough blockers and enough resources to one guy, which is going to end up being their downfall to be able to get the other guy into play. I'm gonna open this next one up.
But
No, hold on. I'm gonna open this next one up, right? Because this is my team now, right? This is the
I think we
matchup.
should start in Dixieland.
Man,
Start in Dixieland. Start with the
Man,
Crimson Tide.
Alabama can. Guess what? We beat them the past 2 years, so I get to start this joint. I get to start it right now. Okay, the biggest game. Okay, arguably, I believe this is the biggest game and has the biggest implications on the CFP. Comes this Friday in Norman,
Oh,
Oklahoma.
it's game of the week for sure.
Hey, college game day is going to be there. It's going to be it's going to be a game, and I cannot wait.
Oh, we got a
Yeah, I know.
wardrobe change.
Yeah, he bringing out the Alabama hat. I know. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I know. Here's my thing about this game. I see a lot of people talking about this game, and for me, I think it is which quarterback has the better game. Do we get the past few games of Ty Simpson paired with the first 4 games pre-injury of John Mateer, or do we get the post-injury John Mateer and pre the past couple of games Ty Simpson? So, because right there, that'll tell you who wins this game, 110%.
That's two
And
totally different quarterbacks, no matter which way you look at it.
it really is, and I think
I
that's the biggest
I
that's the
think
biggest thing.
injuries. I think injuries plays a huge part. We'll know a lot more over the next few days who's completely healthy for Alabama, but I'm not blaming Alabama losing on injuries fully, but it damn sure would help to not lose. I think. I mean, having Josh Cuevas back in that tight end position, he's been great for us on third down all year.
Mhm.
And then, like I was saying earlier, Jam Miller being back is huge, and it's not even so much for the run as it is for the protection for Ty Simpson up front.
I think on the offensive side of the
Who's your
ball,
defensive pick?
I'll let
uh, Overton,
okay.
I like it.
LT Overton, as long hopefully he's 100% and ready to go at there. It looks like they're leaning towards he is, so I think he will be a game changer if he does play healthy.
Caleb, I'll let you save yours for last, as this is your game. This is your game. This is what you've been waiting for.
Oh, I have been.
For
Don't you worry.
Alabama, for Alabama, I'm going with wide receiver Isaiah Horton. He's been an absolute game changer when Ty Simpson's needed somebody else to throw to other than Jeremy Bernard. We know Ryan Williams hasn't really had the season he's hoped for, and Isaiah Horton has really stepped up. And I wouldn't say the absence of Ryan Williams, maybe the lack of would be a better word. And then on defense, we've got Yonze Pierre, arguably their best pass rusher when LT Overton hasn't been healthy. And if you can
Yep.
just move Yonze Pierre to one side and put LT Overton on the other, I think you could have a very good pass rush. You know Oklahoma's going to throw the ball. That's what Ben Arbuckle's known for is his passing schemes. So that's why I think Yonze Pierre is going to be the Bama X factor on defense. All right, Caleb.
Oh, it's my
What you got
turn.
for Bama?
Let me get loose for Alabama's X factors, right? I think for me, it has to be Ryan Williams has to show up. Doesn't matter how you get him the ball. Doesn't matter how he shows up. We pulled up the stats. Y'all thought I was crazy, especially you, Jared. I pulled up the stats before we talked about this. In every game, minus the Florida State game, that he has had 5+ receptions, they have won. And I think That is because with that happening, it gets Horton open. It gets the running backs on out routes. It gets them out of the backfield open. It gets a lot of people open because people know that Ryan Williams arguably is a top 3 receiver when he is playing well alongside Jeremiah Smith and Cam Coleman. Okay, I threw in the Cam Coleman there just for you because that take was absolutely horrendous on our first episode. I
You
think
still think Ryan Williams is a top 3 wide receiver?
100%, 100%,
Okay.
100%. Um,
I
neither
disagree, but continue.
neither here nor there. I think that's the biggest thing. Defensive side of the ball, quite frankly, I think it's going to be their secondary. I really do. Like you said, OU wants to try to throw the ball as much as they possibly can. If their entire secondary can seem to show up, it's going to be a long day, and that rolls me right over to OU. Again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If Mateer can get back to his pre-injury form, we might roll into a national championship unscathed. In all honesty, and we
Yeah,
might win every single game by a possession or two.
it's
If
I
he
said the
possible
is,
for
same
sure.
exact thing about Ty. If
yeah,
Ty gets back to form, I think they can run the table as well.
yeah, and that's why I think this
You
game is
mentioned
such a,
Alabama's second.
huh?
You mentioned Alabama's secondary. Their tackling has not been good.
But
You saw in the Iron
Bad,
Bowl, Auburn rattled off multiple 40-yard plus plays, all because missed tackles in the
bad.
secondary.
yeah,
If
but
that happens in this game
oh, it's
with
over.
Deion Burks and Isaac Satania catching passes, it's over before it starts.
Who you
Their
telling?
secondary needs to
Un-
Who you
tackle.
telling? And that honestly,
undisciplined.
that gives me comfort because guess what? On the offense side of the ball, if Xavier Robinson and Troy Baylock and maybe for wherever he's been for the past fucking 5 months, right? I just cussed. I don't cuss. I'm
Taylor
sorry.
Tatum.
Sorry. No, Jay Knott. We're paying him all this money. Where is he at? Where's he been?
Y'all have not got a positive return of interest on investment on that one.
So, but again, right? If we can get to the second level on our run for those backs to get into the second level, and they're missing tackles, we'll be fine. Okay. But on the defensive side of the ball, right? A Brent Venables defense for us to be successful, it has to be the front seven. Whether that's Owen Hankey, whether that's Kobe McKenzie, whether that's Kendall Daniel, whether that's R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Williams, David Stone, Weeks.
Dominic Williams.
Dude, the list goes on. If our front seven can play exactly how Georgia did in that SEC championship game, it's wraps. Because I'm not worried about our secondary. Okay, we've got arguably one of the best freshmen in the country at corner right now, and he is locking up vets and freshmen all season. I think he's had 1 or 2 touchdowns scored on him all season. And we've talked
I've
about this
never heard
already.
one of them.
Exactly. Cam Coleman was the only one, and again, he's a top 3 receiver. So we're like our front seven. If we can dial in and Brent Venables can call a good game, I don't think it's a high scoring affair. I think it's a low scoring affair. I think it's possibly a 17-10 game, maybe a 13-17 game. It's gonna look as ugly as the LSU game, but it's going to be an absolute classic.
See, I think this game's gonna come down to the turnover margin. Yeah,
That's exactly what I was about to say.
you got two defenses that love to force turnovers, and Kane Womack loves to pressure the quarterback, and Brent Venables loves to make quarterbacks uncomfortable. And you never know what he's coming. He loves disguise looks, and you
And
just get Ty Simpson confused.
let's
Just
also not
saying.
forget what happened in the Tuscaloosa game, right? 2 turnovers towards
But
OU, right? Flips that game on its
that's
head, and now we win 23-21. So
uh,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
y'all scored 17 points off of 3 turnovers
Yeah,
in
like
that game.
so.
17 points off 3 turnovers.
And again,
Shall we make picks for each game this week?
now let's save it. Let's save it. There, we, because
Well, and we're
hey,
talking about why shouldn't we?
I mean, okay.
I did.
I'll rattle them off right for you. JMU Tulane, bye. You're gone. Oklahoma or
All right, so
Alabama, you're gone. Okay. Miami, you're gone. I think it's Oregon. I think Oregon, Ole Miss. I think all your higher seeds, home playoff teams, they're in the next round. That's who I think. I'll let whoever. Hey,
I
who wants the floor
I
next?
agree.
Okay.
I agree. I think A&M is just going to be too much for Miami. I don't think Alabama has what it takes to win the game in Norman, Oklahoma. If they couldn't even win it at home. And then Ole Miss and Oregon, they're just going to blow the doors off Tulane and JMU.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an easy home team sweep for me.
Yeah. Stuart?
My picks are similar until we get to the Miami Texas A&M game. That's my upset pick. I think Miami is gonna end up winning that game, and then I've got Alabama beating Oklahoma 27-23.
Okay. I would hope that
But
you picked your
I
favorite
agree with
team.
all the other picks, of
I'd
course.
hope you picked your favorite
Have
team
to.
right. I mean, naturally, it's just a part of the game. But here's one thing that you and I can say, Stuart, that not a lot of people can say. We both beat Auburn. Isn't that nice? Isn't that
I think
lovely?
I think a lot of people can say that.
Oh man.
I
Um,
mean, even Kentucky can say it. So is it really that special?
look, I would not,
Alabama
Missouri can
almost
say
blew
it.
it.
I would not say that out loud again, Jared. Okay, don't ever bring up Kentucky beating Auburn ever again. That doesn't matter. Now, if you let the OU and the Alabama person say, "Oh, we
ten
beat
to
you,"
three.
just take that. Okay, don't ever just bring up
We're tied
Kentucky.
with Mercer at halftime. It's not something to brag about.
Oh man,
I'm taking center stage. Moving on. Can we talk about the uniform matchup of the year?
dude,
Army and Navy.
Chef's
Like,
kiss. They were
come
It was a
on.
beautiful.
fun game. A fun game to watch.
I didn't really watch a lot of it. I watched kind of towards the end of the first half, and man, Army just looked like they just
All you need to know is Horvath played great and rose up to the challenge we need to, especially on that 4th and goal play from the 8.
Yeah, the fourth and
And
goal. That was what I was gonna say. Man, that game was great. It just played out. I mean, the lead
and the
changes
Jolly
and stuff
Roger
was
was
awesome.
raised again.
yeah. I mean,
The Jolly Roger was raised again. All is good. And now we wait 4 days for the game of the week.
Boomer Sooner, baby. No, I think that's all of our talking points that we had for tonight. Right, wrong, right?
I believe it is.
Well, with
Looks
all that,
good to me.
hey, Stuart, do you have
You got
anything?
any final thoughts before you
Yeah,
send us away?
yeah, for the house, everybody here in the house,
Um,
brand new to it. So, you got any news
I'll
for
just
them?
give y'all a quick roll tide.
Okay, okay, okay,
Or,
okay.
or is it?
I hope Alabama. I hope they're healthy. I hope they're healthy by Friday. I hope that Ryan Grubb has a grasp on reality and can call an offensive game. Yeah,
I
Okay.
want to see at least 3 handoffs to Caden Proctor.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking for a screen pass. That again against Georgia was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jared, you got anything else for the people?
I don't, man. Send us home.
Hey, with all that being said, special thank you to our special guest, okay, Mr. Stewart. Again, make sure you go follow him on all of his socials. But if everybody else is good, I'm good. And hey, make sure you love each other. Make sure you tell the people that you love them. And in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And good night.